In the past week, we've had two pretty big PC re-releases. Bayonetta and Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition are both re-releases of last-gen titles, beginning with the letter B, but that's about where these similarities end. Because one of these games absolutely nailed it. It's a perfect example of how to re-release a game and do a damn good job of it. The other is not.
First up, let's take a look at Bayonetta. It's arrived on the PC for the very first time this week with very little fanfare. The only indication was a teaser hidden in the spin-off game 8-Bit Bayonetta, which many people thought was an April Fool's joke. Then out of the blue, Bayonetta appeared on Steam for the low price of $20. Remember that price, because it's important. Bayonetta is one of the most acclaimed hack and slash games of all time, one of the absolute greats of its genre. By all accounts, the port is pretty damn good as well. Digital Foundry said Bayonetta PC runs beautifully, even on old hardware. In his PC Gamer analysis, legendary modder Durante said the Bayonetta port is the definitive version of the game, running at a perfect 60 FPS, has no resolution cap, meaning the game can display at 8K if you wanted to melt your graphics card.
And you know what? People had been asking for Bayonetta on PC for quite some time, and Sega had finally listened, actually giving the game the go-ahead. The reception to the port has been immensely positive, and PC Gamer asked the developer Platinum Games about the sudden release of the game in an interview. Platinum said if it was up to them, they would release all of their games on PC, but the decision is left to the publisher. So first things first with this, the pricing on this is excellent. $20 is incredibly good value, and it reflects the fact that it is a game from 2010. It's a re-release, but it is an old game. It's, you know, no matter what they've done in terms of getting it to run beautifully on a PC and up-resing it and all that kind of stuff, it's still a game from 2010, and the price reflects that. So that is one very good, important tick in Bayonetta's favour.
So this is the first version that we've had on PC, and it must be said that beautifully optimized if you can run on old machines, and you can scale it all the way up to 8K as well.
Yeah.
That, it's got to be said something for that, you know, the going through that whole development and just charging $20 for it. You've got to give them a round of applause for that.
And the fact that it was in demand as well is really important. People wanted this on PC, and it just wasn't on PC, so they wanted to see it. They wanted to be able to play it on their platform of choice, and finally, it's been a long wait for them, but finally they've had the chance to do it, and it's been great, and it's really paid off for them, because Bayonetta is a really important game if you like hack and slash games. It's, you know, one of the.
Did you play it? Did you play Bayonetta?
No.
No, right. Neither did I.
But Liam.
So what the f are we talking about?
Liam assures me. So now let's turn our attentions to Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition. This is a remastered version of the original Bulletstorm, which launched on PC, 360 and PlayStation 3 back in 2011. Bulletstorm, unlike Bayonetta, is not seen as one of the best games of its genre. It's actually a pretty forgettable FPS, which despite being a solid game, didn't sell too well and failed to leave a real mark on its genre. Full Clip Edition is a full remaster, yeah, with tweaked visuals, support for up to 4K resolution, and some new game modes launching on PC, PS4 and Xbox One. But since Gearbox have come out with the Bulletstorm remaster, the publisher has been doing nothing but fending off bad press ever since. It all began when they announced a partnership with infamous key reseller G2A for the collector's edition of Full Clip, which, yes, has a collector's edition. The remaster of Bulletstorm has a collector's edition.
Gearbox attempted to make G2A reform their service after listening to criticism from a number of concerned parties, including YouTuber Total Biscuit. But G2A responded saying these were defamatory statements, and in the end, the partnership was called off. Defamatory. We don't profit of other people like pirating keys and shit.
Yeah, I love the attitude. It's like, how very dare you? How dare you suggest?
I do suggest
It's the dodgiest website going.
In addition to the G2A controversy, Gearbox have been trying to justify why a 6-year-old game is being re-released with little difference from the original for $50, almost full retail price. They also spent some time and money hyping up the release, but they didn't stop to ask, does anyone actually want a Bulletstorm remaster? The answer being a big fat, yeah, not really. Another thing to note, while we're on the topic of bullshit practices, this remaster has a day one DLC.
Yeah. And
it's $50 already, and they're charging an extra $5 to complete the remaster. Like, how dodgy is that? This is bullshit. G2A and Gearbox should be just thrown in a
The axis of evil.
Oh, they should just throw something and like exile something. Just go make your own games for like nobody who cares. So we don't care.
So by now you can see what we're getting at. That's how all this started, was because Bayonetta, they've done such a good job on the re-release of Bayonetta. It was all understated, you know. It just arrived on PC kind of out of the blue, and it arrives and it's a really excellent value proposition game, and it works. You know, you can run it up to 8K on PC, so it's incredibly well optimized. It's perfect. It's just a perfect. That's the way you re-release a game. Okay, Bulletstorm is not the way you re-release a game, because it's only 5-6 years old. You know, to charge almost full price. If it's not full price, it's bloody close to full price, and then hit you with day one DLC, which is fucking shit DLC as well, by the way.
The Duke Nukem skin is the part of the DLC,
yeah.
And we made a quip in the office that it's a first-person game,
yeah.
And you get a skin for a DLC.
Yeah.
So literally, you get his hands. That's it.
And there's like voiceover work and whatever, but the other characters in the game still refer to you as the actual original character, not as Duke Nukem.
So they didn't actually go back and redo the voice acting. All they did was they refer to you as what's your name? Grayson. So they call you Grayson, even though you Duke in the DLC, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's how much of a cash grab. And then
cha-ching. They get around it apparently by cracking jokes like Duke says, who's Grayson, and all those hilarious kind of jokes. You know, that's how they get around it. That's the point of this video. It's just there's one way to do something right and one way to do something so unbelievably wrong in the same week. They've done exactly the same thing almost, but it's just the way that it's been done is so completely different. The pricing is absolutely audacious for Bulletstorm, and the partnership with G2A, it was just a disaster from the start. It's just not been a good launch. And Gearbox, I don't know where this leaves Gearbox now. They weren't popular to begin with.
The problem is that every single video we bring Gearbox up in, we absolutely slate them.
Yeah.
Now, I think there's a moral to this story. If you don't act like
Gearbox,
if you don't act like a dick, we won't call you a dick.
So on the topic of reusing old content, let's have a look at some of your comments from the past week.
Daddy Z comments on the Pac-Man Rage Quit video. Rage quitted my job to follow my dream and become a YouTuber. Now I'm homeless. At least he's got a computer and he can still...
He's got a computer and he's able to watch videos, which is a good start. It's a good position for a homeless person to be in. Best of luck to you, pal.
Temp email comments, what am I doing watching two Welsh guys talking about video games at 4:27 in the morning?
Living the dream, if you ask me, mate.
Next up on the Xbox Scorpio tech reveal video, Fallout 47 414 comments, we still have E3. Why is everyone ignoring E3 as if it's not happening? Let's speak after E3. So I just like how adamant he was like, please E3, don't give up hope. But yeah, you're right. Like E3 is a good time to get excited for games. But
I always kind of get disappointed after E3 though. You know, I always get quite excited about it in the week beforehand, and then I'm following all the coverage and all that, and then nothing happens, and I'm like, oh. That was alright, wasn't it?
Just kind of like watching our videos, isn't it? Like, like oh yes, pretty good gaming video. Put it on, and it's like,
and it ends up going nowhere.
That was alright, wasn't it? Well, that's it for today's video, guys. Let us know what you think about gaming re-releases and what you think about people bundling DLC in with those re-releases down in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button if you're new around here. Check out some more of our content around about here. Support us on Patreon if you're awesome. And we'll see you again next time.